Hello, you are on the Alice Reddit Stories channel. More than 90% watch my videos without a subscription. Subscribe to the channel so we always stay in touch. Enjoy watching. Story 100p. I found out why my husband hides his best friend from me, and I don't think there's anything I can do about it. I'm writing this on a throwaway, because I have friends that use Reddit on occasion. I, 26F, have been married to my husband Dylan, 26M, for 3 years. We got together when we were 17, but we've known each other since the 4th grade. I love my husband, he's the total package. Funny, sweet, smart, and attractive. He's made my life amazing, and he's who I fully intended on spending the rest of my life with. We attended all the same schools from the time we met, up until college. In that time we've both made our own friend groups. He's been more connected with his friends than I have, and because of that I've become a part of the group as well, I'd like to think. In that time, I've been at around 50% of their group hangouts, mostly because of my job, but sometimes I'm just straight up not invited. I didn't question any of this because hey, they're his friends, he doesn't see them nearly as often as he sees me, it's not my business. My husband met his best friend, Caro, 27M, long before he met me. I knew almost nothing about Caro up until recently. He wasn't at our wedding, nor did he attend any of the same schools as us, and I was under the impression he wasn't friends with anyone in our group. I thought all of this was because of his line of work, as I was told he traveled a lot. Last year me and my husband went to a barbecue hosted by another couple in the group. Caro was there. I didn't recognize him at first, but when I realized who he was, I was honestly kind of shocked. I'd seen him in person before, but he always kept a very, very good distance from me, which I'm realizing now was intentional. Anyways, he's totally stunning, he looks like he could be a supermodel. When I attempted to make conversation with him, he seemed really nervous and totally shut me down after a few sentences. When I mentioned this behavior to anyone else, they also shut me down, saying things like that's just how he is, or maybe you said something that offended him. In short, no one would tell me anything about Caro, at all. Any conversation that involved him was a no-go. At the end of that night, I tried talking to Dylan about his behavior. He told me Caro didn't like me. I was confused, because I'd hardly seen him in person at all, let alone actually talk to him. The excuse my husband gave was that he disliked me because I cheated on my husband once in college, and Caro was too stubborn to let it go. I've seen Caro less than a dozen times since then, mostly at birthday parties, huge get-togethers, and on one occasion he came to our house to watch a football game with my husband and a few of their other buddies. Anyways, a few weeks ago my husband went fishing with his cousin. That same night, I had some of the girls in our friend group over for a girls' night type thing. Lily, 24F, was scrolling through some social media. I was glancing over her shoulder when I saw a selfie of Dylan and Caro sitting next to each other in a hot tub. The selfie had been posted maybe 30 minutes ago. I asked Lily about what I had seen, and she went pale. She tried saying nothing, but I snatched the phone from her and went to the profile that posted the photo. The profile belonged to my husband. It was a private profile, and scrolling through the photos, most of them were dirty jokes or memes, but the rest of them were photos of him and Caro. Either they were hanging out alone, or with the rest of the group, minus me. Most of the photos they seemed way too close, too touchy, or doing things that seemed too personal or intimate for friends to be doing. I spent a good 10 minutes looking before I couldn't take it anymore. I was horrified. All of the photos were dated to nights my husband told me he was working late, hanging out with this relative or that, times that he'd told me he was doing something else, and obviously hangouts I wasn't invited to. Lily just sat there looking dumb. She didn't say anything, but all the girls were looking at us like a bomb had just gone off. They clearly knew what I had seen, and their reactions were enough to confirm exactly what I was afraid of. I was livid. I started yelling, Lily was crying, and the rest of the girls were freaking out. When I started to calm down and demanded that they explain what was going on, Lily told me everything. Dylan and Caro had been sleeping together, and very essentially dating behind my back since before we even got married. They got together during a 1-month break me and Dylan had during college, and they stuck together ever since. They all knew, and none of them told me until I found out the hard way. Caro wasn't at our wedding because he felt guilty. He avoided me like the fucking plague because he felt guilty. They arranged group meetups in a group chat I wasn't in, because they all liked Caro enough to spare his feelings. Even the guys in the group felt the same way about him, apparently. Caro was never as distant as I thought he was just being hidden. Dylan was hiding him from me because he didn't want me to find out they were together. By the end of it, half of us were sobbing, and everyone who wasn't was apologizing to me. I was so angry. I made them swear they wouldn't say anything to Dylan, or anyone else. I kicked them all out, and cried myself to sleep. I was basically in denial, like it was some kind of sick fucking prank. My husband didn't come home until the next morning. He told me all about the supposed fishing trip he'd went on. I didn't say anything about what I knew. I guess he could tell something was up, because he kept asking me what was wrong, all day, every 5 fucking minutes. Eventually I just told him I'd been in an argument with my sister. By the end of the week, I was totally numb. Last night while my husband was handing out candy to kids, I saw a notification pop up on his phone. Since I knew his password, I opened it. It was a text from Caro. I looked through the conversations they'd had, it confirmed everything. It was devastating. Dylan texted Caro the exact same way he texted me. He told Caro he loved him, every sweet thing he said to me had been said in his conversations with Caro. I was hardly mentioned. I put his phone back before he noticed. Dylan is at work now. I don't know what to do. I could never imagine myself leaving Dylan, because he's such a loving partner and a good man. But I can't see myself winning in a competition against Caro if that's what it comes down to. I can't even make myself be disgusted or angered by Dylan. I love him too much, I'm not even upset with Caro. But I'm so hurt, I don't want to risk losing my husband, and I don't want to share him. I called Lily and my sister this morning and told them about what I had found. They both asked what I'm going to do, and I had nothing to say. I don't know what to do, at all. Update: Hi. I really appreciate the support and advice I was given on my last post. Dylan came home last night around 10. I had a whole speech prepared to confront him with, but I could only end up saying I know about you and Caro. I'll spare the details of the conversation because it's still raw, but he left around midnight. He only took a few of his things. I haven't spoken to him since, aside from him telling me he was coming to get more of his things, and after our conversation I've decided to go through with divorce. I've collected all the necessary information, and I'll be getting in touch with a lawyer shortly. I've found out why my husband hides his best friend from me, and I don't think there's anything I can do about it. I was unaware it was a big trend to repost Reddit posts onto TikTok. This is what happened with my first post, and the video has almost 700k views. A friend of mine, Noah, who I am name dropping because I know he will see this, and I appreciate him dearly, forwarded me the video because he knew it was my post. I explained the situation to him prior, and he knew I had posted it. There are several things I want to address, and I ask that whoever made the video, because they clearly use Reddit, posts this too, to clear my name. Everybody in my life knows by now, so I see no harm in addressing you personally. To recap, yes, I am leaving Dylan. No, I did not actually cheat on him. It was a huge misunderstanding between the two of us that lead him to believe and tell people that I cheated. I don't even know if what he told me about Caro's dislike for me is or was true. No, I am not going to sue him for everything he has. I will no longer be speaking to anyone from that group. I may have been naive, but I am not stupid. No. I still do not know why they chose to betray me like that, and I don't intend on finding out. Yes. While his parents were accepting of LGBTQ, I don't think they would have been okay with Dylan marrying a man. From here on out, I doubt I will have anything to say. That is all, thank you. Also, I have never watched Brokeback Mountain, but the jokes about it did make me chuckle. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel, there are a lot of interesting stories ahead of you.